Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Come on in. We are live, take two. As you're coming in today, we are talking about who do you need to become in order to hit six figures in your coaching business. Welcome, welcome. As you guys are coming in, I'm looking down at my mobile device. I want to make sure the audio works. Let me know if you can hear me. Drop a hashtag live if you can hear me in the audio. Welcome, welcome. Looks okay on my phone, but give me a hashtag live if you're here live. Hey, Valerie, thanks for joining us. Give me a hashtag live if you're here live. Give me a hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Get settled here. As you're coming in, I'd love for you to drop into the chat, what is one business challenge that you are currently dealing with that you'd like some help with? Now, based on what you share your challenges, I may have a free training that I'm able to pull out of my vault and send you. So drop into the chat, what's a current business challenge or a challenge that you're facing around building your coaching business? I'd love for you to drop that into the chat before we get going. And that way, you know, above and beyond even today's training, I can reach out and send you a customized video based on what you're currently dealing with in your business. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tag everybody. We had to do a second start. Audio wasn't working the first time. Looks like it's working now, which is good. All right, let's get going here. I'm going to see if I can refresh the comments here. All right, what's going on, Valerie? All right, let's hit the ground running. Let's talk about it. Who do I need to become in order to hit six figures in my coaching business? Now, for those of you who haven't met me yet, we've got new people coming into the group every week. I am Betty Kempa. I'm a business, I call myself a coach-sultant. I'm a coach. I was certified as a coach, but in business, there are many times where I'm also consulting. So I call myself a coach-sultant, a business coach-sultant for coaches. I'm a 3-time member of the Forbes Coaches Council, an IPEC graduate, for those of you who are familiar with IPEC. What else can I tell you about myself? I was ranked one of the top coaches in Denver and again in Tampa by Influence Digest. And I was recently listed as one of the top 10 business coaches to follow by Life Coach magazine. Last but not least, I'm the founder, the proud founder of the Corporate to Six Figure Coach Academy, where we help corporate renegades just like yourself ditch the 9-to-5 and repackage your genius into a six-figure coaching business. So that's a little bit about me. Before we get going here, I'm out in St. Petersburg, Florida, and it is feeling hot today. Let me know in the comments, where are you guys at? Valerie, where are you at? You somewhere cold or hot? I have a look down, and luckily I have the AC on my phone, so I can turn up the AC when I'm getting hot. Fellow IPEC coach too. I love that, Valerie. Very cool. Love to have some fellow IPECians here. We speak the same language. All right, real quick before we get going on today's topic, who do you need to become to hit six figures in your coaching business? As always, if you'd like additional coaching support with your business, check it out. There's a link in the copy of this post. So there is a link in the copy of this post. I'll go ahead and I'll drop it as well in the chat, but there's also a link in the copy of this post. Let's see if I can drop it. There we go. Okay, there. Link in the copy of this post. And the purpose of that link is, if you'd like additional coaching support with your business, you can book a call with me so that I can learn more about your business challenges, your business goals. You can ask me any questions you have on your mind. We can see if you're a fit for one of our programs, for the Corporate to Six Figure Coach Academy, or perhaps one of our different program offerings. And you'll leave the call with 3 things. 1, we're going to do a deep dive to uncover why have you not achieved your goals yet, right? I'm going to help you do a gap analysis. 2, you will learn the steps to take to achieve your business goals. So based on what you tell me, I'm going to share with you, here are the steps you need to take to achieve those goals. And 3, you'll have a deeper understanding of what our program, the Corporate to Six Figure Coach Academy, entails. We can determine if you're a good fit for the program or one of the other programs we offer, and then I will give you a run through of different program options and prices. All right, so what I want to start doing more often with these weekly lives is I want to actually kick it off with the whiteboard that I have behind me here. And let me explain why. The whiteboard behind me here is going to help you to understand high level. When we talk about building a six-figure coaching business, what are the steps I have to take? And then after high level, you understand what that method is. I'm going to tell you within that method, here is where today's topic falls, so that you can kind of have visual of, okay, I'm here in building my business, my coaching business. I need to get here. Betty's covering this topic today. Where does that fall within her method? Okay, so I want you to have that kind of holistic overview. So let me see if I can, there we go, pull it a little bit closer. Yeah. Okay, so you can screenshot that. It's my crazy handwriting there, but I'll also verbalize it. This is the 5 C's of building a six-figure coaching business. This is my signature method. Okay. The 5 C's of building a six-figure coaching business. And I want to talk about, just real quick here, high level, what they are. And then we're going to talk about how today's topic fits into the greater journey of building your coaching business. Okay, step 1 is going to be choose your niche, nail your messaging. That's step 1, right? Before you go wild with anything else building your business, you got to build the foundation. Choose your niche and nail your messaging. Okay, this is going to be niche, messaging, positioning, figure out who you are, who you help, the problem you solve, right? That's step 1, right? That's step 1 of the signature method that I created. And I call this the 5 C's. Step 2 is create a killer coaching package, right? So in step 1, we're determining, okay, this is the type of coach I am. This is the type of problem I'm solving. This, right? This is my target market. And in step 2, it's like, okay, let me create the service. Let me create the offering. So creating a killer coaching package. And that is more than just saying, oh, I have 10 sessions in a package. It's more than that, right? You too, this is my signature method. You also in your niche need to have a signature methodology. So creating some kind of a signature method within a killer, I call it the killer coaching package. We create your signature method, we create all the deliverables in your program, and we make sure it's high value. That's step 2. Step 3, the 5 C's of building a six-figure coaching business. I call it curtains up, launch your brand, right? Now, here's what I see, which is very sad, is oftentimes a coach will spend all their time and money creating a website, and then it's finally finished. And what do? They'll post it on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn and say, look, my website is finished. That's not a launch, right? You'll get maybe 50 friends and family, maybe 60. Woohoo, good job, we're proud of you. And then it's crickets, right? So that's not a proper launch. So Curtains Up Launch Your Brand is a strategic launch to get your audience as excited about what you're about to launch as you are. It's also putting all the systems in place to work in your business. Part 4C, the 4th C here in building your coaching business is kind of the meat and potatoes of what we're doing here, called the client attraction system. And I'm very, telling you the word system is important because, there's so many ways to attract clients to your business. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. Where coaches fail is that they're throwing spaghetti on a wall trying to figure out how to get clients. And every day is different. And they don't have a system in place, right? A system. Certain parts are automated. Certain parts are templatized. Certain parts can be outsourced. Certain parts are you. So you have to have a client attraction system. And then the 5th C of building a six-figure coaching business is close the deal, right? So sales. You have to understand sales. And, again, a lot of people have kind of icky, weird vibes with the idea of selling. So that's a whole nother thing, right? It's not just about closing the sale. It's about perceiving what you're doing through a different lens, right? We're serving people. We're helping people make decisions. We're coaching them to a yes or a no. right? But you need to understand what that process looks like. So this is my signature method, the 5 C's of building a 6-figure coaching business. If you have any questions on this method, feel free to drop the questions into the chat. I'm trying to see whether I want to look at your questions on the screen. I think I'll look on my phone. It's a little bit easier. Twane, thank you for joining us. Hey, Beth, thanks for joining us today. Valerie, it's cold out there, is it? All right. Well, I'm glad you're inside. So here's the question. And again, here's why I'm talking about this 5 C's to building a 6-figure coaching business. The question is, I want you guys to think about this every time I do a Facebook Live. Typically, by the way, I do them on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. This week, we just had a schedule change. But today's topic is, who do I need to become in order to hit 6 figures in my coaching business? So the question is, Betty, where does that fall within this 5-step methodology, right? Where does that fall? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to throw into the chat? Where do you think today's topic, who do I need to become to hit 6 figures in my coaching business? Where do you think it falls within my signature method of the 5 C's of building a 6-figure coaching business? Anyone want to take a guess? Drop it into the chat. If you have a guess, anybody want to take a guess? Drop it into the chat. Give you a couple seconds here. Where do you think within these 5 C's? Choose your niche, create a killer coaching package, curtains up, launch your brand, client attraction system, close the deal. Where do you think, who do I need to become to hit 6 figures in my coaching business? Where do you guys think that falls within the 5 C's? Drop into the chat. And, you know, I don't try to trick you guys with trick questions, but I will say this. Most of us are going to have a niche where in the beginning, right, this is part of us being a coach, we level set mindset in the beginning. We level set somebody's mindset in the beginning before we even hit the ground running, right? So I tend to do that first, right? When my clients join my program, we do some mindset work. We level set to understand where they are at. Where do we have to work on mindset as it pertains to building this 6-figure coaching business? So we do kick it off that way. That is part of the foundation. Yeah, Beth, exactly, at the beginning. And here's the other thing I will say too, and this is a reminder for y'all. So, you know, take a note here. I still, when I'm working with clients, am going to be bringing up this topic of mindset and who do I need to become. Even though I level set it in the beginning, it's going to pop up throughout the entire journey. It's going to pop up throughout the entire journey, right? All of you probably have had times you work with a client and clients have different days, right? Some days they're on top of the world, things are great. And some days they're doubting themselves and the imposter syndrome is kicking in, or the gremlins or the limiting beliefs. So as a coach, right, when I'm working with my clients on building a business, this is very important. I want you guys all to remember this as well. It's not just about the blueprint, the system, the process. As a coach, right, I also have to be keeping my eyes on my clients to see, right, is the mindset the thing that is preventing them from achieving their goal in each of these buckets, right? So every so often, depending on what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing, we'll dip back into, wait a second, right, where are we with our thoughts? Where are we with our beliefs? Who is this person you wanted to become? And how do we step back into that? So just remember, right, it's not a linear process. When we talk about the mindset piece, it's great to level set in the beginning, but it's like popcorn. It'll pop up throughout the process, and that's normal, and that's okay. All right, let's jump into today's training. Zahid, thank you for joining us. Joseph, thank you for joining us. All right, so today we're talking about, who do I need to become to hit 6 figures in my coaching business? And I want to talk through that today. So bottom line, building a successful, and I say 6 figures, it's arbitrary. It's whatever your financial number is. The reason I say 6 figures, just to tell you guys, because I know it can get obnoxious always hearing people talk about 6 figures. Here's why I say 6 figures. My clients, my program is the corporate to coach academy. So I'm getting a lot of people leaving the corporate world used to a six-figure salary or a double six-figure salary, or they're used to somewhere, whatever it is, a six-figure salary, or 200K, 300K, whatever it is. They're used to this salary that is six figures. And sometimes the limiting belief is, oh, I can't replicate that in the coaching world, right? So that's why I talk about six figures, because that's a limiting belief. You can replicate that in the coaching world. My clients replicate that in the coaching world. I replicate that in the coaching world, right? If you're pulling the right levers, if you're consistent with what you're doing and you're pulling the right levers, right? That is when you're going to be achieving those types of goals. So that's why I talk about six figures. Now, building this successful six-figure coaching business, it's not just about strategy. It's not just about templates. It's not just about blueprints. You will be required to become someone new. You will be, and please, I want to, for the people in the back, write this down. You will be required to become someone new in order to step into this new reality, right? And the fact is, ditching the corporate job and building your dream coaching business can be frightening, okay? It can be. You may have moments of doubt. You might feel paralyzed by fear. You might be struck by a case of imposter syndrome, right? Who am I? Who am I to go after that dream? This is normal, okay? I promise you, this is normal. You can still have those feelings and take action, okay? I'm going to repeat that again. You can still have those feelings and take action. But every day that you wake up and you do not take action to move yourself closer to your goal, right? Every day you wake up and you don't take action to move yourself closer to your goal, you are putting on your fear suit. I'm using quotations because I'm just kind of making that up. Your fear suit. It's like an astronaut suit. You're putting on your fear suit. And I want you today to rip that suit off and try on a new one for size. All right, so let's talk about it. Who do you need to become in order to hit six figures in your coaching business? The truth is, you need to start thinking, feeling, and acting like the person who has already built a six-figure coaching business before you ever even achieved it, okay? And I'm going to say that sometimes I repeat things when I'm really trying to, for those of you taking notes, I'm emphasizing this to you, right? You need to start thinking, feeling, and acting like the person who has already built a six-figure coaching business before you ever achieved it, okay? I want you to become that person now, and then the results will follow. So today I want to talk about one, how to ditch the fear suit. And we're going to talk about how to create a power avatar to get stuff done in building your coaching business. Two, we're going to talk about the 6 key characteristics of your power avatar that you must embrace in order to hit the six-figure mark. We're going to really dive into that power avatar. We're going to talk about the 6 key characteristics of the power avatar you must embrace. Third, we'll talk about how to bring your new power avatar to life each and every day so you can kick butt with your coaching business. All right, we're going to get going here. If you have any questions, please, I don't like to be a talking head. Go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. That's why I come live. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. As you guys are joining today, please drop hashtag live if you're here with us live, and hashtag replay if you're here with us on the replay. Zara, thanks for joining. Rachel, so good to see you. Zahid, Joseph. All right, let's get going. All right, so first and foremost, I want to talk about the power avatar technique. Has anybody heard about the power avatar technique? Drop into the chat if you've ever heard about, and it could be another variation of what I'm about to talk about, but drop into the chat. Have you ever heard of the power avatar technique? Or do you know, what is a power avatar? Does anybody, Is that familiar to anybody? Anybody have a definition? What's your definition of a power avatar? And by the way, this is something I've seen in various coaching spaces, not just business coaching, and super powerful. Super powerful. Okay, let's jump into it. So first action item, what I want you guys to take away from today's training here, I want y'all to create your own power avatar. So write that down. I want you to create your own power avatar. Okay, this is going to be how you detach from your fear identity and replace it with a new one. Okay, your fear identity. Who's your fear identity? Drop into the chat. Who's your fear identity? What does your fear identity tell you? What is your, and everybody's fear identity is going to tell them something different, right? Some of the things I hear when it comes to a fear identity and building a business, right? Who am I to start this coaching business? Who am I? I'll never stack up against my competitors. I'll never make it as an entrepreneur, right? Things like, there's just a couple examples. Drop me a comment. What is something that your fear identity has told you before? Drop into the comments. What is something? I want you guys just to have an awareness of what this fear identity is, not just what it is, but the narrative. Drop into the chat. What is something your fear identity has told you before in terms of building your coaching business or something else? Drop that into the chat. Let me know that you guys understand where I'm going with this, that you're tracking. Okay. Now, here's the process of creating the power avatar. What I want you to do is, so step one, bust out a blank piece of paper. I should have grabbed like a printer paper or something. Bust out a blank piece of paper and draw. Maybe I'll do it on my whiteboard. Yeah, how about I do that? We'll do it on here. Okay, we'll do the technique on here. Okay, so here's part one. You're gonna bust out a blank piece of paper. I'm gonna use this as mine and draw a rough sketch of your power avatar in the center of your paper. Draw a rough sketch of your power avatar in this, and believe me, I can't draw. I'm not a sketch artist here. And here's something I prefer to do. I will, and this is something you guys can do later. Sometimes what I like to do is I'll Google an image of somebody or something that to me would represent my power avatar, right? A person that in my mind, I'm like, that's who I want to become, or that's the image of who I want to become. So for me, right, I might Google, Wonder Woman or Superwoman or, confident businesswoman or whatever the descriptors are, or the title is, or the vision is. For some of you, maybe it's somebody you know, right? Maybe it's your grandfather or your mother, or right? But think about this power avatar, right? And you can, if you want, just print out, right? Or print out a piece of, print out that image. I might Google Wonder Woman and cut that, print it and then cut her out and put her slap dab in the middle of my here's my little drawing here. Okay, that's my version of Superwoman. Okay, so that's step one, is find a visual representation of your power avatar. And it might sound silly, but this is part of how our mind works. Have a visual representation, and it could be somebody that in your mind you're like, that is the person I look up to this person, right? I'd love to kind of do as if this person does, right? Maybe you have an aunt who's really strong and full of strength, and you're like, yes, I want to use her to represent my power avatar. So that's step one, is decide on, either sketch it out and just imagine it, or if you're like me, right, Google, find an image and cut it out and put it in the middle of your piece of paper, okay? Another idea, side note, perhaps it's an older picture of yourself. when you were at your mentally and emotionally strongest. That's another idea too. You could choose a picture of yourself when you were at your emotionally and mentally strongest. Okay, just making sure. I'm checking my chat here as y'all are going. Pick a picture of yourself when you are at your mentally and emotionally strongest. The idea here is to get a clear vision of your power avatar. Personally, like I said, I like to use Wonder Woman. Now you're going to go ahead and write your power avatar's name at the top of the page, right? So for me, I'm going to write Wonder Woman. Right? That's my gal. And it should be any name that signifies whatever in your mind is power, right? So for me, it's strength, courage, fearlessness, right? Drop me a comment to let me know. And you can name your power avatar, right? I'm just calling her Wonder Woman. But drop me a comment, let me know, what is your power avatar's name? Or who is your power avatar? Drop that into the comments. And by the way, for those of you who went to IPEC, coach certification training, to me, I kind of feel like this exercise is the opposite of the gremlin exercise. For those of you who remember that imposter syndrome exercise with the gremlin, instead of naming our gremlin and getting to know our gremlin, in this case, we are going to do the opposite of that. We're going to name our power avatar, get to know her or him, and step into her or his shoes. Okay. I'm going to just check out the chat here. Okay. Beth, tell me what you mean about other people doing this. Tell me what you mean, Beth. Tell me more. Rachel says, I feel like I have to prove I have healed myself completely from cancer in order for people to follow me and become my clients. I feel like a fraud. Oh, Rachel, so powerful. So powerful and so authentic. And thank you for showing up and being honest in this safe space with how you feel. You know, I won't go down a rabbit hole right now, but I will tell you, Rachel, and you know, Rachel, you and I have connected before, and we should connect more offline. You know, I too am going through, you know, the cancer journey, as I call it, you know, kicking cancer's butt over the past three plus years. So just to tell you, Rachel, you sharing something like that is an inspiration to me. You sharing something like that is an inspiration to me, because when those of us that are dealing with crap on the outside, which we all have something we're dealing with, are able to show up and say, I'm dealing with this thing and I'm still plugging ahead, and I'm still, even if I feel afraid, moving forward. Rachel, you inspire me. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So thank you for sharing that. Let's connect offline. Sandra, thank you for joining. Jack, thank you for joining. All right. So let's move on to getting to know this new identity. Let's get to know our new identity, our power avatar. Let's get to know every aspect of who she is. There are 6 key ways to really get to know this new identity. There are 6 key ways to really get to know this new identity. Okay, so let's play. Number 1, coaches, this will not be a surprise. We've got to figure out what are the kinds of thoughts and beliefs that go through her head. And I'm saying her because this is my power avatar, but his, her, their, whoever, right? So what are the thoughts, when you've built your power avatar, this visual representation, whatever it is, and now the first thing you're coming up with, what are the thoughts and beliefs that goes through my power avatar's head? Thoughts and beliefs. Okay, what are the thoughts and beliefs that goes through? Now drop into the comments. When it comes to your power avatar, let's play. What are some examples of some thoughts and beliefs that you would want to be going through your power avatar's head. Remember, the goal of the power avatar is we're going to shed our fear skin suit and we are going to put this suit on. So if this is the suit we want to wear each day to be able to hit our goal in building our coaching business, what are the thoughts and beliefs that need to be going through this new power avatar's head? You're going to put it on like a suit. And these thoughts and beliefs are going to help you move closer to your goal of building your coaching business. Drop it in the chat because it's going to be different for everyone, right? I'll give you some examples. You don't have to use these. But the thoughts and beliefs that you need in order to feel confident enough to take action with your coaching business, right? What are the thoughts and beliefs that you need to be thinking in order to feel confident enough to take action with your coaching business, right? So it could have to do with fear, right? It might be thoughts that I have around fear, right? Fear tends to be one of the challenges that people have, right? Transitioning from corporate to coach. So what are some new ways I could look at fear? Right? I might think about thoughts and beliefs around fear. This is an example. I talked about this in a separate training I did, different ways of looking at fear, right? So I might think, and I'll drop these into the chat too, if I can. Chat is so funky on Facebook. Come on, Facebook. Here's a thought about fear. Maybe I'm going to start to think about fear as the fear will never go away as long as I continue to grow. The fear will never go away as long as I continue to grow. Ooh, right? Now I feel better if I'm thinking about fear like that. Instead of thinking about fear like, oh, fear is here, I better not do anything. No, the fear will never go away as long as you continue to grow. Maybe I want to think, again, I'm just coming up with thoughts and beliefs for my power avatar. Maybe I want to say, the only way to get rid of fear is go out and do the thing, right? If we sit around and just mull around in our thoughts, is that how we're going to get rid of fear? Of transitioning from corporate to coach, of building our 6-figure coaching business? No. The only way to get rid of fear is to go out and do the thing. In fact, maybe another thought or belief I want to have is the only way to feel better about myself. If you're sitting around beating yourself up because you haven't taken the next step in building your coaching business, the only way to feel better about myself is to go out and do it. Maybe that's a thought I want to have, right? Another thought I might want to have, a thought or a belief, not only am I going to experience fear or be nervous when I'm in unfamiliar territory, so is everybody else, right? Maybe another one we want to have, another thought or belief is, today I'm going to get stuff done, right? Instead of that long to-do list of, oh my gosh, I'm building a business, there's so much I have to get done. How about we just look at the thought, today I'm going to get stuff done today, one day at a time, today. Maybe that's a thought that will be helpful to me. How about the thought, I believe I can do anything I set my mind to? How about the thought, anything is possible? IPECians, how about the thought, what is it? There is, we either win or we learn. We never lose. I either win or I learn, but I never lose, right? IPEC? For those of you not familiar with IPEC, that's one of they had a list of different beliefs and thoughts that were very powerful. Your mission statement, I'll tell you one last thing about thoughts and beliefs before we move on to the next part of the Power Avatar. Come up with a mission statement about your coaching and the people you want to serve. Come up with a mission statement. This is something I love helping my clients do. Your mission statement should reflect the humans you want to serve in your coaching business, right? So for example, my mission is to help every corporate renegade with a desire in their heart to coach. That's what they should be doing, but they're afraid to take the leap. My mission is to hold their hand through that transition until they achieve their goal. That's my mission. And my mission, and in my mind, I'm visualizing the snowball effect. If I can help you guys build your coaching business, you're all going to help all of your clients, and so on and so on, right? Coaches just spread this beautiful thing, right, where people are reaching their goals and anabolic energy. My mission statement is bigger than my fear. My mission statement is bigger than my fear. So again, thoughts and beliefs. Hopefully you guys have come up with a couple thoughts and beliefs. You're welcome, Rachel. Hey, Amy. Yeah, no worries that you missed it. And I'm so glad that you're staying connected as well. Amy, you can catch the replay. It's totally fine. Valerie, fear is huge. Absolutely. Right. Why? Which is why it's important to come up with, you got to know, like, there will be times I feel afraid, and that's okay. A great book, Valerie, it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways. I talk about it all the time. If you haven't read it yet, check it out. Beth says, I provide coaching for working mothers who are stressed and overwhelmed with all of their responsibilities to living a more intentional, confident, and fulfilling life. I provide coaching for working mothers. As I get out into social media more and more, I continue to see more people in this area of coaching. My shift has been from spending time worrying about this to focusing on abundance, and that my customers are out there and need my help. Beth, I love that so much. And it's true. And it's a thought and belief you need to step into in order to get things done. I will say two other things real quick, Beth, and we can connect more on this offline if you want. Just a reminder for all of you guys, it's so interesting with coaching. It can be so easy, and maybe it's not just coaching, but entrepreneurship. I don't know what it is. It can be really easy to see what others are doing and to compare your beginning to someone else's end, or to think to yourself, wow, there's so many competitors in this field, right? To be thinking that, but then think about, like a dentist or a lawyer, or you know what I mean? Like, there's no dentist out there that is thinking, oh, there's so many dentists, I can't make any money. Or there's no lawyer out there that's like, whoa, there's a lot of lawyers, how am I going to make money? So that's another thought. If you can somehow, Beth, and anyone else who ever, a lot of people go through that where they're like, whoa, there's a lot of other people out there. I promise you and what you said is perfect, Beth, abundance. There are clients, there are more than enough people for every coach, right? And we keep coaching until we can coach people through all of their challenges. The other thing too, and Beth, again, maybe we'll connect offline on this, Beth, and anybody else who wants to as well, drop something into the chat. But another piece of this, and Beth, this is in my methodology, what I help my clients with. We do want to pull out, Beth, your unique value proposition, right? And this is just regardless of how many competitors you have. This is a little bit off topic, but I just want to say it. You do want to identify, what is my unique value proposition? Now, some of it is strictly going to be you, who you are as a person, your energy. No matter how much experience a competitor has, somebody's going to say, I just love you. I love your energy. I want to work with you. Okay, so that's great. But the other thing, unique value proposition, I'm sure, and this is something I do with my clients. I work with my clients to look at their history, their style, who they are, right? All of these things to identify, okay, sure, they're in this niche market, but what makes them unique as a coach in this market? And then as we build out the program, we also ask ourselves, what makes their program unique in this market? So Beth, I guarantee in both cases, you as a coach and your program, there is a unique value proposition for both. And so the goal is, and for everybody listening to this live, we just need to identify that for each of you, right? This is what I do with my clients. We identify what's unique about you and what's unique about your package. And then the goal is we just need to communicate that, because that's when people are making a choice, they need to understand that, right? So great example, Beth. You're on the right path. Valerie, you have that book. I love it. Okay. Number two, power avatar, feel. How does she feel? How does she feel? Right? So we've identified what does she think? So how is this helpful? When you put on this suit, if you feel your thoughts are starting to drag you down, I'm afraid, I'm not good enough, limiting beliefs, right? You got to ask yourself, okay, I got to flip the script. What kind of thought would my power avatar, would Wonder Woman be thinking right now as she approached building her coaching business, right? She'd be thinking, my mission is stronger than my fear. She'd be thinking, today I'm going to get stuff done, right? But we also have to ask ourselves, how would she feel? How does our power avatar feel? Drop into the comments, how would your power avatar have to feel in order to take action with your coaching business, right? And you guys know, everybody's, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but people have learned this, right? It's belief to thoughts. Thoughts create feelings or emotions, create actions, create results. Okay, so that's why we're going through all this, right? It's a ripple effect. Oop. Beliefs create thoughts, thoughts create feelings or emotions, emotions create actions, actions create results. So we really need to be in tune with, when we put on our power avatar suit, what would she think right now in order to get the results I want? What are the results you want? You want to build your six-figure coaching business. So to do that, we have to identify the beliefs, thoughts, feelings, and actions that are going to get you the results you want. You see what we're doing here? So feelings. How do you need to feel in order to take action with your coaching business? Drop that into the chat. We're just brain dumping here. No imperfect action. Embrace imperfect action. How do you need to feel in order to take action with your coaching business? How do you need to feel? As an example, for me, I want to feel confident. I want to feel excited. That's one of my biggest. I want to feel excited. I want to feel brave. I want to feel anabolic. I want to feel passionate, right? Those are the kind of feelings that are going to kickstart me to take action towards my coaching business. Hey, Georgina, thanks for joining us. So think about, y'all, write that down, your power avatar, how do they have to feel? Next, how do they have to act? Right? So what would, if you're in a position where you're like, ooh, do I take this step with my coaching business or do I not? Do I take this step with my coaching business or do I not? Right? You got to think about your power avatar, and you got to think, what would Wonder Woman do? That's right. Well, am I going to lead with my fear suit or am I going to lead with my power avatar? So I would write Wonder Woman. I would say, what would Wonder Woman do in this situation? I'm trying to decide whether to invest in my coaching business. I feel afraid. I've got the money. It's there. You know I see other people are getting an ROI, but I feel afraid. What would my power avatar do? Right? So actions. So I want you to think about and write this down. How does your power avatar act? With confidence? With integrity? Do they take rapid action? Or do they draw things out? How does your power avatar act? Do they fail fast? By the way, I think that's a good thing. Fail fast, fail often. Fail next, fail next. Implement quickly. Seek help and support when needed. Don't force yourself to do it alone. Where are we here? Actions. What are their actions? Saying no sometimes. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else, right? Establishing boundaries. Acting strategically with a blueprint, not relying on throwing spaghetti at the wall when you're trying to build a business. Number 4, how does your power avatar make decisions? How does your power avatar make decisions? Does she only say yes to things that move her closer to her goal of building a 6-figure coaching business? By the way, great way to make decisions. Are they aligned with your values? Are they moving you closer to your goal? How do you make decisions? You only say yes to things that move you closer to a feeling of power versus a feeling of pain? Do you make decisions according to your strategic plan versus shiny object syndrome? Right? That's a killer. By the way, if you want the training on shiny object syndrome, I did that the other week. So how do you make decisions? It better be not throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? So think about that. How does my power avatar make decisions? What are my power avatar's daily habits? Number 5. Right? That's an important one. What are her morning rituals? What are her morning rituals? Right? Maybe she does gratitudes, meditations, visualizations. Maybe she does some movement, some exercise. I'm just throwing things out there. Maybe every morning she wakes up before her feet hits the ground. Her first habit is reviewing her why. Why does she want to build a coaching business? She taps into her mission each morning. That's one of her habits, her morning rituals. What other habits does she have? Maybe she schedules 1 hour per day to work on her coaching business. Maybe she has a habit of time blocking everything in her life in order to make time for her coaching business, right? So what are her habits? Lastly, how does she look at life? How does she look at life? What is the lens through which she looks at life? I'm saying she because it's talking about me. He, she, whoever your avatar is. How does he look at life? How do they look at life? Right? Now, what do I mean by that? I'm talking about how does she view the world? How does she view building a coaching business? Is she viewing building a coaching business as an exciting adventure? That there are no mistakes, you either win or you lose? Right? Is she viewing, does she look at life through abundance and not lack? How does she view the world? Right? Now, this is going to be a little brainstorm activity for each of you guys. And feel free to, today we're kind of kicking off. You can take more time with it. You're next going to transfer what you've written to create, this is kind of spoke diagram, kind of a spoke diagram around the image or sketch that you created on your blank piece of paper. So I really do recommend you have some kind of a visual that you can look at day to day. Each spoke should describe different aspects of who your power avatar is based on what you've written in this exercise. How she thinks, how she feels, how she acts, how she makes decisions, what are her habits, and what is her life view? 6. Okay. Last but not least, now it's time to bring her to life. Now, this may sound kind of silly, but I would love for some of you to try this out and to let me know how this works. I'm not an expert on neuroscience or, neural pathways, but there are some studies that are going to show what I'm about to share with you is something that works. So if you're sitting in a situation, right, and you're trying to make a decision about something to do with building your coaching business, right? And you realize in that moment, I need to put on my power avatar suit. I need that suit. I need to be thinking like her, acting like her, having habits like her. You need a way to kind of bring her to life. How do you bring her to life? So this is something kind of fun. You can select a trigger item. Select a trigger item, something tangible that you can touch, wear, etc., to signify when you're ready to step into the power avatar suit. So for example, maybe you have a special pin that you put on. Maybe you have a special pair of glasses, a special ring, a special piece of jewelry, a special watch, or perhaps it's a special item you keep in your wallet or your purse or your pocket or on your desk. I have this, my sister got me this kind of chakras and energy, right? I keep it on my desk. So it could be anything. But when you're having one of those moments where you're like, woo, I'm slipping, the mindset, the feelings, the actions, the habits, I'm slipping, I need to put on my power avatar suit, take your trigger item and put your hand over it. Or if it's like something you wear, put it on, put your pin on. Touch your trigger item. So decide on your trigger item, drop it into the chat. What's your trigger item? It's got to be something tangible. Tangible. This signifies to our brain, we are now stepping into our power avatar, right? We're putting on our power avatar suit. And when you start to have those feelings of doubt creep in, or you feel paralyzed, right? It's time to activate or put on your trigger item. And then at that moment, you're going to ask yourself, what would Wonder Woman, or whoever your power avatar is, what would Wonder Woman do, think, or feel? What would Wonder Woman do here? What would she think here? What would she feel here? And once you identify that, I want you to mirror her. I want you to think like your power avatar, act like your power avatar, develop habits like your power avatar. And what I will eventually tell you is that the feelings will follow. All right? So checking the comments quick. Charlotte, so glad to see you. I'm so glad. Inspired, Charlotte says, love it. I need to feel empowered by having the skills, support, the vision to move forward with my goals, a special trigger to put on my power avatar suit. I love it. Awesome, Charlotte. Yeah, I could totally see that working for you, Charlotte. I do this too. I love this exercise. So there you have it, y'all. Drop a comment below. What is your biggest takeaway from today's lesson? As you're dropping that below, your biggest takeaway from today's lesson, quick reminder, right? If you'd like additional support with your coaching business, I showed you the 5 C's of building out your coaching business, transitioning from corporate to coach. Check it out. There's a link in the copy of this post where you can hop on a call with me so I can learn more about your business challenges and goals. You can ask me any questions and we can see if you're a fit for the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy. Every call, you're going to learn something. So you're going to learn with, leave the call with 3 things: a deeper understanding of what the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy entails. We'll do a deep dive to uncover why you have not achieved your goals yet. We'll do a gap analysis, and you will learn what are the next steps I have to take to achieve my goals. So we'll do that on every call. All right, y'all, if you have any questions, post away in the group or reach out to me via DM. Or best of all, book a call and we can have some private time to talk. All right, guys, have a great week. Talk to you soon.